You're not going to eat well there, you're not going to sleep well there, and you're just going to get absolutely harassed because another thing, you are just one walking wallet there. All you are is money floating around. Money, 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 money. You have people coming up trying to sell you fake earbuds, trying to sell you broken glasses, trying to sell you anything. And I tell you what, it gets so frustrating. And the thing is, no one is kind for the sake of being kind there. There's always an ulterior motive. What a terrible place. What a terrible place. I will never ever be going back ever.
Jika sebelumnya seorang pemuda asal Inggris bernama Warren secara terang-terangan mengaku kapok pergi ke India karena sering mengalami kejadian tidak menyenangkan, seorang pria asal Prancis bernama Victor juga mengalami hal serupa. Ia menceritakan bahwa hari-harinya di India seringkali dipenuhi dengan penipuan-penipuan kecil yang kerap membuatnya kesal.
I am leaving this city. Yeah. I'm leaving this city right now, brother. I'm done. I'm done with Varanasi. Oh my god damn it.
Salah satu contohnya adalah ketika ia membeli makanan seharga Rp150 dan memberikan uang sebesar Rp200.
Oh brother, 35 yeah? Rice. Thank you. 150 yeah? 1, 2.
Namun, pria yang mengantar makanan itu langsung pergi tanpa memberikan uang kembalian.
Wait. Okay. I was like, bro, give me my change, man. Okay, so I guess this is my food. And I did not get my change back. The guy left. The train left. And my guy left with my change. I got scammed, great. I gave the guy 200. This is 150. And he left. No change. I was not expecting to get scammed on the train.
Pengalaman lain terjadi saat ia memesan layanan Uber. Di aplikasi, terlihat bahwa sopir sudah berada di lokasi yang sama dengannya. Namun, sopir tersebut sengaja menunda waktu agar Victor membatalkan pesanan. Dengan begitu, si sopir tetap bisa mendapatkan komisi meskipun pesanan dibatalkan oleh penumpang.
Alright, I think we have our Uber. Brother! Yeah, boss. Uber, no? Uber, no? Uber. You Uber, no?
He is the Uber guy, but he is not the one whom you are finding.
Ah, okay. It says it's here.
But he is saying that if you can cancel and he can also go with that fare also.
Bro, I know how it works. I know. He wants to cancel so he can get a commission.
Beruntung, Victor sudah mengetahui trik ini. Ia tidak membatalkan pesanannya dan memilih menggunakan moda transportasi lain.
The number, he is not the guy whom you are looking.
It's a motorbike.
Yeah.
BU
2979.
yeah.
It's not here.
But it shows on the map it's here.
29. Yeah.
You know what? I know it's petty, but just to teach him a lesson, I think I'll just leave it like that. Take another taxi, and then this guy won't be able to work until he cancels it. Because I have time. He doesn't. For him, time is money. And actually, I got warned. I got warned that in Varanasi, especially here, that's how they do it. They scam you with Ubers. Yeah, all the red flag, you call them, they never reply. I just wrote him, I'm not gonna cancel, I have time, so you come now. He saw the message. He's reading the messages. He knows. He knows. Hello, brother.
How was your experience in Varanasi?
Very bad, actually.
You cancel?
No, bro, I don't cancel. I know how it works. No, I'm not canceling.
Hello, where do you want to?
No, I'm looking for my Uber. That's how they do it. They just wait. They hope for you to cancel it. No. Alright, so that's how they scam you. They want you to cancel the journey on Uber, so they get a commission. Yeah, I'm not canceling. Bro. I paid. I'm not canceling. They just wait for you to cancel it, so they can just get the money, a commission, without having to ride and bring you to the destination. It's smart, but I have time. If I were in a hurry, I would have to cancel and the guy would get the money. But now, I am not canceling, so he has to come if he wants to keep working and have other clients.
Menurutnya, penipuan kecil seperti ini harus segera diberi pelajaran. Jika tidak, para pelaku akan terus mengulanginya kepada orang lain.
I know I'm being very petty right now. You know, it's 50 cents, but I just want to teach a lesson to this guy because it's just like, If I were in a rush, in a hurry, I miss a train because of that. So if I cancel, I'm gonna just help them keep doing this for the future and for the other tourists. So you can say whatever you want, I'm being petty, but at some point, like, I'm fed up. You know, I've reached the end of my journey in India, and I'm just less patient. I'm less tolerant, I'm less patient, and all those little tricks, scams, at some point, I'm just fed up with that. So I'm being petty right now. I know I'm being petty for 50 cents, but at some point I just have to teach a lesson. Because again, just imagine you're in a rush for your train and someone does that to you. You miss your train.
Pengalamannya selama 3 minggu di India membuatnya sampai pada kesimpulan bahwa negara tersebut bukanlah destinasi yang cocok bagi turis pemula. Semua panca inderamu akan diuji secara bersamaan, tuturnya.
Definitely not for beginners. India is not for beginners. That's a cliche phrase, and it's true, right? It's not for beginners. I would not be able to live here. Like, nah, full time, no way. Too stressful, way too stressful. Most of the tourists, beginners that come here, have what we call a sensory overload. It's a shock that leaves you not traumatized, but just shocked from the difference of this country with the rest of the world. And so this sensory overload is essentially having all your senses overstimulated. The 5 senses. First, hearing. It is just like that. Constantly honking, honking, honking. Noises, sounds all day long, 24/7. Then the sense of taste. It's always spicy. Anything you order in India is spicy. Anything is spicy. So that's another aggression. Third aggression. Smell. Sense of smell. You can walk in the street and within 50 meters have 3 different smells. Strong smell, disgusting smell, nice smell. So your nose is also shocked by that, you know. Another aggression. Fourth aggression, eyesight. Seeing random things happening. There's anything and everything happening all the time around you. Right now it's a pretty chill area that I chose, but man, you've seen my videos. It's always a dog barking, a cow, a tuk-tuk driver passing next to you, a guy shouting next to you, talking to you. It's like, yeah, you're always stimulated. Right now this is not a good example because I'm in a very chill area, but yeah. And the final sense is the touching. I mean, in India there's no sense of privacy, there's no sense of personal space. They touch you, they talk to you very close to you, just touching and then pushing, like, all this is quite common in India. So yeah, so this is why most of the beginner tourists have what we call the sensory overload. I didn't have it when I came here because I was, you know, I knew what to expect, but after a month, after 3 weeks of travel, it gets to your nerves, like it gets to your head, and it's just too much. It's just too much.